Hi, I'm Brandon Schauer from RARE, where I lead the program on U.S. climate change, and I'm excited to share with you a quick intro to green benefits. Simply put, green benefits pairs two powerful things: social incentives and financial incentives that motivate your employees to take the highest impact climate actions, and as a result, feel great about it and about you. The science of this is to help employees experience that, number one, this is important, that it's easier to do than they thought, that people they respect have already started doing it, and to help them feel that they are part of something really important. But it all starts with the idea that climate is important, and we know that most Americans are already there. We know Americans are ready to make climate change personal. We know that belief is at an all-time high. We know that people are acutely concerned about climate change, and we know most Americans believe they themselves should be doing something. But unfortunately, they don't know what to do. When we asked Americans what they could do about climate change, the number one answer was recycle. Unfortunately, that's not even a top 25 answer. And from interviewing Americans, we know that this lack of knowing what to do makes them feel angry and overwhelmed and powerless and confused. They just want clarity on what matters. Well, we know what matters. We've done the research. These 7 behaviors, organized through A through G, have the biggest impact on the reduction of greenhouse gases that cause climate change. A, adopt a plant-rich diet. Just eat less meat. Buy carbon offsets. Invest in projects that reduce carbon. Contract green energy. Get solar on your roof or load green energy onto the grid. Don't waste food. Store and shop smarter. Electrify your vehicle. Make your next vehicle purchase an EV. Fly less time a year, or get engaged. Just talk about it because this influences other people to get engaged too. So if adopted by 10% of Americans, these behaviors would put the U.S. back on track to hit its targets under the Paris Agreement. And as I said, these climate actions represent a 2030 lifestyle, one we'll all have to have by 2030, but they're readily available today, and they are something that you as an employer can jumpstart. To do this, RARE is providing green benefits. For the employer, enables you to take a leading position in sustainability in the lives of your employees. Green benefits helps you stand out to win new talent and retain current employees. And because these benefits are high impact actions, they add another quantifiable dimension to your ESG stories. And importantly, employees can take these actions on right now, even amidst pandemic conditions. What we offer to employees are specific benefits that we can tailor to fit their geography and their lifestyles. Each benefit is, of course, based on the list of high-impact personal actions. Some of our existing examples include trying out a plant-based meal to create a new habit, either with a meal kit or a meat substitute in your normal recipes. Support for choosing which carbon offset projects to fund, along with an employer match. Rebates and guidance to make adopting renewable green energy sources a great choice. And we're planning to expand to include logistical and financial support to make your next car an EV, or to install rooftop solar. Also, removing food waste and saving money with smarter shopping and storage. But perhaps it's most powerful to think how these benefits could change the lives and the work of your employees. Take, for example, James and Amy. What green benefits has given them is an answer for when their kids ask, hey, what are we doing about climate change? So James is in supply management with 2 kids, a bigger home, 2 cars, and with green benefits, he and his wife Amy have moved to green energy for their home. They practice meatless Mondays at home. He's committed to change his BMW for a Tesla after his lease is up. And being foodies, they contribute monthly to a carbon offsets project that removes carbon from their region's food supply. He's also joining a work group that's planning to go through solar installation at the same time. And by changing his own habits, it's also changed how he sees sustainability at work. He's stood up a new approach to assessing carbon emissions of suppliers, which is now a standard assessment used by his supply management team. Or take Leslie, who translates her concern for climate change into actions she can model for others. She's a user experience designer with a small apartment and no car. With green benefits, she's moved to more plant-based foods by changing her cooking and her meal service. She's reduced her food waste, her utilities are tied to green sources, and she just ran a small fundraiser for a carbon offset project for forests. At work, on a new project, she's identified points in consumer service where they can reduce carbon emissions by changing the ordering process. So, to be clear, we not only see benefits for your employees, but benefits to how they work because they're more aware of the relationship between actions and carbon emissions, that they know these decisions can add up a lot. Speaking of adding them up, I'm sharing this with you because we know engagement in employees across the US can start to really add up. We're looking to scale up over 3 years, starting with betas or pilots with 10 pioneering organizations. This will give us the insight to standardize and scale the offering, integrating it with delivery platforms and partners, and then extending to 300 employers. And even with conservative participation rates, the results are pretty big, moving the equivalent of 0.5% of US passenger vehicles off the road every year. And that's just the start of the impact we can have. So who's behind Green Benefits? Well, we are RARE. We are the nonprofit leader in behavior science for conservation. We inspire change so people and nature thrive. While based in the US, our behavior change campaigns have focused on other parts of the world, more than 450 of them across 60 countries. What we found is that on average, RARE's campaigns increase adoption of sustainable behaviors by 18 percentage points. Compared to some other popular public health campaigns on smoking reduction or oral health, all below 9%, this is really impressive. But we're now compelled to bring these capabilities for behavior change to address US climate change with the Make It Personal program, which creates and delivers Green Benefits. It's been great introducing you to Green Benefits, and again, we're looking for 10 pioneering organizations to pilot Green Benefits. Help us shape and refine it, and be a big part of the story of scaling it to become a future must for standout employers. If you're at that kind of pioneering company, or if you know someone who is, get in touch because we like the way you think and we want to be on your team. Thanks.